A-Level Chemistry, Paper 3, Specimen version 0.5. Ethanol can be oxidized by potassium dichromate, so ethanol will then turn into ethanal and continue to make ethanoic acid, if heated for a prolonged time, a process called reflux. In order to ensure that the oxidation to ethanoic acid is complete, the reaction is carried out under reflux, and I've drawn a diagram on the right hand side. You can see that there's a flask, and then there's a condenser with cold water passing through it. If you were to stopper the flask and heat it up, the pressure would crack the flask or pop the stopper off the flask. So we need a method of heating this for a prolonged time, having it open to the air so that the pressure can be released, so that there's not too much of a build-up of pressure, and yet not leave the liquids evaporating out into the open air and ending up with losing the mixture. So describe what happens when a reaction mixture is refluxed and why it is necessary in this case for the complete oxidation to ethanoic acid. So the mixture of liquids are heated in the flask to a boiling point for a prolonged time, but any vapour, any gases that escape from the liquid mixture are then cooled and condensed by the cold water condenser and returned into the flask as a liquid. Any ethanol and ethanol that initially evaporates are then returned back to the flask and can continue to be oxidized to ensure that there's complete production of ethanoic acid, so that the reaction, the oxidation, completes through to the ethanoic acid stage. You can also add anti-bumping granules into the flask as well to prevent large bubbles from forming. Write an equation for the overall oxidation of ethanol into ethanoic acid. So remember, a half equation always involves electrons. If I've got an E minus, that is, if I've got ethanol and ethanoic acid, it's never going to balance. If you look for a start, there's two O's on the right hand side and one on the left. You can always add H pluses and H2O to any half equation to get it to balance. So clearly we need an extra O on the left hand side, so the only option of these two, H plus and H2O, is an H2O that's got an O. So if I add an H2O onto the left hand side, now the O's balance, but unfortunately the H's don't. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 H's on the left and only 4 on the right hand side. So I need 4 extra H's on the right hand side. That's when I use H plus. So I'll put H plus on the right hand side and I'll need 4 of them. Now all the H's and the O's balance. Unfortunately I've got 4 pluses on the right hand side and I've got no pluses on the left hand side, and that's where the electrons come in. My electrons can balance that by putting 4 electrons on the right hand side. So CH3CH2OH plus H2O makes CH3COOH plus 4H plus 4 electrons.